the Center for Elite Athlete Development, which I'm director of for Indiana University. And the rest is kind of history. I'm going into my 4th season with the Hoosiers and super excited to see where we go. Last year was obviously a little crazy with COVID and that world of things, but we got through it, and we actually saved the university quite a bit of money with the in-house testing that we were able to do. And yeah, just continuing to roll into next season. Just excited for what the future holds whenever we get quote unquote kind of back to normal. And that's kind of a 30,000 foot view of a story that I saved you guys a lot of the struggles of.
Well, I mean, like, how does it, I mean, I'm just kind of curious, how does it differ from like the normal versus COVID era, especially for athletes? Yeah.
So a lot of I got some feedback from one of our watchers, and they told me that I say too much. And so I'm really, really trying to be conscious of that. So I apologize to everybody that's maybe made a drinking game. How many times can Shawn say You'll die. Okay. Don't play that game.
I think I'm playing.
But so with the COVID year, so I was there the day, if you Google it, the day the sports world stopped. I was at work, and it was like every couple hours we got more and more of an update, and it was like, this sport's been canceled, this sport's been canceled, this sport's been canceled. Oh, they're canceling all sports. Oh, they're it's just games they can still practice. Oh, now they can't practice. Oh, now they can't be in the facilities. We're sending them home.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was there when all of that stuff shut down, and it was like it was so surreal, because like I just walked out of my office and I was like looking around the lab, and Isaac, who is my counterpart at work, he's director of nutrition. He was in there, and I kind of looked at him, and he like just put his hands up. He's like, I don't know, dude, this is crazy. Like, I don't know what this is. And we walked out in the hallway, and there was like, I won't tell you what teams they were, but there were probably about 30 athletes sitting in the hallway, and they were all just crying because they were seniors, and like that was their final year. So they were gearing up for their final competitive season. And it was just like that day I will remember for the rest of my life for sure. And so taking that day and like the memory of that day and being like, you know what, we have to make this better. We have to do this right. We have to get the kids back, and we have to make sure that they are able to compete and practice and live as normal as they possibly can. So what do we have to do that? Okay, well, we established different boards for return to play committees. We established different protocols and different rules. And we built an MRI lab that was actually, we repurposed the MRI that was used for brain studies and neurosciences to do cardiac MRIs, because the Big Ten mandate for cardiac MRI. And we sort of said, we have Dr. Rink, because the Center for Elite Athlete Development at Indiana University, where I run, is a part of the greater Dr. Lawrence D. Rink Center for Sports Medicine Technology. And so Dr. Rink is an incredible cardiologist. I mean, he's the best in the world when it comes to sport cardiology, bar none. And so we were like, well, we need to lead the charge when it comes to this stuff, because they found that COVID interacts with the athlete heart, and it actually can cause damage in some cases, and it causes inflammation, which can cause sudden cardiac death. And it's like, we can't have the kids out there practicing and playing and competing and running the risk of collapsing. I mean, we saw that at is it Florida State is the Gators? No, the Seminoles. Whatever the Gators are. Sorry, I'm ignorant to non-Big Ten schools right now.
Florida.
There you go.
Florida Gators.
Florida Gators. Yeah. So they had a basketball player collapse on the court. It was determined he had some cardiac issues. He basically went into a sudden cardiac arrest. And so we're like, that's not happening in Indiana. And so we put all these protocols in place and all these practices, and we led the charge, and it was a long, arduous process to get everyone cleared. But for the most part, I mean, everyone got back to practicing once, because the Big Ten, if you remember, we said, no, we're not doing football. We shut it down. Mm-hmm. And then the SEC and Pac-12 and the other conferences said, we're going to march forward. And then they started seeing lower incidents if they didn't have fans. They did daily testing. They did X, Y, and Z. And so we adopted some of those protocols, got everyone back to playing. And then we were just like, we did what they did, like times 1,000. Like, they were testing like once a week. We tested like twice a day. Like, it was absurd how many antigen tests and that was the kids, that was the staff, anyone who was determined to be in close contact to a team. Like, I remember that there were periods where I was coming in and testing every day, whether I had to be there or not. It was like, you have to be tested every single day or you're not eligible to be with the team. Wow. And it's like, okay, cool. We'll get it done,
Man, it's probably gonna feel weird, just like where you are like now compared to where you were before and while you're in it. Because I'm
Yeah.
sure that there was this like fight or flight, survival. Like, we got to make it. We got to be here. We got to still play. We still got to take care of these people, and we still got to make them safe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know, you just kind of flip a switch and you make it happen, which is not easy to do at all. Cause I'm sure you got burnout in some ways. I'm sure a lot of athletes, a lot of different people that were a part of the organization got burnout, because it's just, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be on all the time
Mm-hmm.
too. It's a big
And I
tent.
will say, a credit to our athletes and a credit to the other athletes that I've heard about in the Big Ten. I mean, I don't think anyone got upset the whole process. Like, whether you were sitting for
Wow.
a month waiting to get the results back of your MRI and you couldn't get in to see me because I was just overloaded with testing and you had to wait an extra week. Like, I don't think we really got any complaints.
Yeah.
So it's like, that just shows, the character of the, I call them the kids, but the character of the kids that we have. And, just understanding like this is a dangerous situation we're in, and we all have to kind of pull together and make sure that we do everything we can.
Yeah. Play your part. It's tough too. It's a big team thing, and a lot of trust and a lot of other people.